Hello dear student, myself KM Jha, lecturer VPMP Polytechnic Gandhinagar. I am again here with my new module from the Advanced Java. The subject code is 3360701 and this is unit 4 from the A Java. Unit name is Servlet. And what I am going to cover here is basics of Servlet. This is part 1. Now we will see the objective. After going through this particular video or module, you people would be able to understand regarding about Servlet, life cycle, then JSDK, then basic configuration of Servlet, API. These things we will try to cover in the part 1. Otherwise, next part I would in future directly use the second part for that. This is the 4.1. Now I am going to jump on the 4.1. Just a moment. Here, I hope it is clear now. Here you can see the index. From this index, first 4 topics that I have shown you in the objective that I am going to cover here. Now regarding the Servlet, in one line, when we are trying to compare the Java Servlet, it is the program that is run on server side. You have to remember this word. Whenever we are talking about Servlet, here you can see the server, SER word comes. It means the program which runs on server, the name of that program is, in Java, it is Java Servlet. So Java Servlet runs on server side for web-based application. Here no GUI is required. So whenever we are talking about servlets in Java, it means we are talking about server side programs for running the web-based application. Earlier when we were using this applet, Java applets, there we run our program on client side, that is in web browser or writing internet application. So in short, you can understand Java servlets are program which run on server side and Java applets are the program which runs on client side, that is on web browser. Java Servlet is a Java class that extends the functionality of web server. This is example, mail server. Some advantages of servlets you can see here. It is portable, powerful, efficiency, safety, integration, extensibility, inexpensive, secure, performance. So these are all, I hope we have already discussed in the online class also regarding the advantages of servlets. Portability, it means you can execute this in any of the platform, irrespective of the platform, means operating system. So operating system independent it is, so portable, powerful it is, efficiency is high there, then safety and securities are extensibility, you can extend the features, integrate the features, inexpensive means kharchila kam hai, then security is there and good performance is there. Now we will see the first topic from the 4.1, that is life cycle of servlet. Whenever we are talking about the servlet, it means we are talking about the management of web container. Here the spelling is wrong. The web container is responsible for, here it should be web container. Okay, so the web container is responsible for maintaining the servlet life cycle. So whenever we are talking about the servlet or life cycle of servlet, complete life cycle of a servlet, we are talking about the management of web container. So everything, whatever would be going to happen inside the servlet, it is going to be conducted by or managed by the web container. The web container receives request from the client, passes it to the servlet and finally sends HTTP request back to the client. So web container receives the request from the client, from the user, end user. It takes the request and then passes it to the finally to the client also. So web container is the intermediate who receives the request and passes finally to the client, and in between there is a processing is going on inside the servlet. So first of all, the web container gets the request from the client, it passes to the servlet. Servlet is there to process the thing, and finally web container is there who sends back the request to client. So finally, whenever we are talking about the servlet's life cycle, everything, life cycle is nothing but everything about a servlet. Life cycle is means from source to destination, from bottom to top. Everything is going to be conducted by the web container. So whenever there is a request from the client, that is going to be fetched by the web container and finally hand over to the client also by the web container. Yes, there is servlet in between both the things, which is behaving like a bridge. You can see here the life cycle of servlet. Through this diagram you can understand it is somewhere behaving like a thread life cycle also, or applet life cycle. Every time I keep on repeating my sentences ki whenever we are talking about life cycle of anything which is a part of a computer, then it is related to our day-to-day life from human being. From human being it is related. So here also, first of all, the servlet class is loaded. Here you can see the servlet class is loaded. Then when the class is loaded, the instance is created from that class. So here this one is your servlet class. Once the class is loaded, the object is going to be created, and this instance is nothing. This instance is nothing but this is object of a servlet. This is object of a servlet once the servlet class is loaded. So it creates servlet instance. It means once the servlet class is loaded, there is creation of instance from the servlet. This instance is nothing but this is object of servlet. And once the object is created, yes, of course the init method is called, because once the object is created, initialization is going to be done by the servlet. This init is for calling the initialization method. So in these three steps, first of all the servlet class is loaded. Yes, once the class is loaded, object is going to be created from the same class. Yes, that we have created. This instance is created here from the servlet class. And once the instance is created, I am again repeating, instance is nothing but it is the object. And once the object is created, yes, it calls the init method to initialize that object. Now you can see here the arrow is here. Now the servlet is running. Now the servlet is in a condition to run. So how it is going to be run? It is going to be run by calling the service method. So whenever we call the initialization method, after initialization it is going to be executed. So how it is going to be executed? By calling the service method of servlet. This is complete life cycle. This is complete life cycle. From here we are going. Now, after calling the service method, yes, if there is no need of the servlet now in future, then you can call the destroy method. It is similar to your thread life cycle. So first of all the servlet class is loaded, then object is created from the same class. After object is created, it is going to be initialized, and once the initialization is done, the service method is called to execute the servlets. And after, if there is no need of that servlet in future, then you can destroy that particular servlet by calling the destroy method. This is life cycle of servlet. And here everything is going to be done by the web container. I repeating my sentences. The web container reviews and loads the servlet into the address space of the server. I have already discussed regarding this in my online class. So in single line, I just want to tell you ki everything, whatever is going to be happen inside the servlet life cycle, it is going to be done by the web container. Okay. Second thing is Java Servlet Development Kit. So when I am talking about JSDK, it is a package containing all the classes and interfaces needed to develop a servlet. JSDK also contains a web server and servlet engine to test your creation. As I said in my classes also, it is similar to your JDK tools. If you are having the facility of JDK in your system, you people are able to execute any kind of Java program as it is a platform. Similarly, if you are interested or willing to create any kind of servlet program, and if you are not having any other servlet engine or web server to run the servlets, then by default it is free. JSDK you can download and simply you can test your creation of servlet by executing inside the JSDK. So JSDK is nothing, as the name is Java Servlet Development Kit. If you are willing to run your servlet or test your creation of servlets, then you can use this JSDK. It is free of cost. There are many other servlet engines much more robust and can be interfaced with most major web servers of the market. It does not mean I am not able to tell you ki there is only JSDK to test the servlet creation. Yes, there are many other servlet engines which are more robust, and most of them are interfaced with many of the major web servers, but it is free, so we can test our servlets here only by downloading this JSDK. It is basic one. As I correlated JSDK along with the JDK, so you can understand that to test any kind of servlet you can use this. This is about the installation of JSDK. We had already talked regarding this. I have discussed regarding this, how to install the JSDK. Simply decompress the archive command in Unix system or double click on the executable under Windows. You can install this one in both the sections of operating system, in the Unix as well as in the Windows. You can do this. So simply copy the file there. This is the path where you need to copy this. This is installation of JSDK. I just want to tell you one thing regarding this JSDK to verify that the installation was performed correctly. Now we have completed the installation of JSDK. Now how I will be able to understand ki the JSDK is installed or not. So for that I am just highlighting this. This is servlet runner. Servlet runner. You need to check this. So simply start the servlet runner utility from the JSDK. If it is executed well, once you write servlet runner, you will get these things over there. This one. 8080 is the default port. 8080 is the default port of server. You can change this also. So to verify the installation was done correctly or not, what you have to do, you have to check or start the servlet runner utility, the servlet engine included in the JSDK. So this is nothing but it is a servlet engine. You need to start this, and if it runs, then it is going to show you these things. This number of things are going to display there if the JSDK is installed properly. Okay. Now, this is about the 4.1 and 4.2. Rest of the topics I am going to cover in my part 2. And by the time we will meet you soon, keep visiting the website of our VPMP Polytechnic for our further parts of A Java as well as for the other subjects. Thank you again.